Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Matchroom Boxing CEO Frank Smith. Frank, I want to start hot, and there was a bit of a spicy conversation between you and Simon Jordan yesterday on TalkSport regarding the nature of picking up Ben Whittaker to Matchroom, described as cheap. I wonder if Matchroom Boxing have ever been described as cheap before. And does any part of you resonate with what Simon was trying to say?
We definitely weren't cheap in the negotiations. It was expensive, but he deserved it. To be fair, Ben Whittaker deserves it. No, look, he said I was cheap because I made reference. They were talking about his previous fights and his previous promotion. And I said I don't think they delivered the right fights for him, and his matchmaking was the best. It's just my opinion. I don't think that's cheap. If you ask me my opinion, was he match great? No. And I said to him, we can agree to disagree. I don't think the comments were cheap. I'm definitely not a cheap person. I'm sarcastic. I'm not cheap. I actually quite enjoyed being on there with Simon yesterday. I think I, kept him at bay.
You two maybe growing a bit of a...
Maybe. I agreed with him about one thing. He said something about Anthony Joshua Jake Paul. I was like, yes, Simon's the man. For 30 seconds of that conversation, Simon, you're the man. But it's a game, isn't it? He's going to say things. He's divisive. I've said it time and time again. He's a divisive character, and that's his job. He's to make people go, oh yeah, yes, Simon. And that's what he's there to do. So fair play to him. I'd actually like to go in there with him and have it out over a few bits. Not a fight, not a straightener, because he'd chin me.
Have it out over what sticks in your craw about Simon?
He said a lot. He says a lot of things without the facts. Not have it out in a bad way. I mean, just actually have a conversation about the things he said over a period of time. But it was interesting.
Keeping it hot, I thought the face-off between Josh Warrington and Lee Wood brought up the rivalry, kept it burning like it has been over the last 2 years. What took so long to get the rematch over the line, Frank?
Look, Lee obviously had the fight with Kakachi in between. Josh had his own fight as well. I think it just took time to get to a sensible negotiation. That's where we got to. Sometimes it takes longer to do that, and we got there in the end, and it's happening, and it's a great fight, and whoever wins that is going to set themselves up for some big nights.
In terms of those big nights, what do you think is on the line for both the winner and the loser?
I think they're big names, huge ticket sellers, and whatever they put themselves in a position naturally to get big fights. And I think whoever loses probably retires, in truth. But whoever wins goes on to a big name fight.
Commercially, can you tell me what does a loss for a ticket seller of the nature of Josh Warrington or Lee Wood do for them? How much of a hit do they take if they end up on defeat?
I think it's the stage of their career you're talking about more. Not so if they were in a different state, they've been around for a long time. They've been in the sport for a long time. And it's more the drive as well. When you've done what they've both done in the sport, it's what drives you. And we do work in a fickle sport where, Josh Warrington gets beat by Kakachi and then everyone's like, oh, he's finished. Then Kakachi, it's mad, isn't it? People take real fights and it's like, oh, he's done. You're not always going to have your best night. Doesn't mean you're done. The only person who can decide whether you're done is you, But I just think if one of those guys has another loss, it's a hard one to come back from in terms of for their drive to keep going.
Can you tell us the current status regarding Dalton Smith's world title bid against Bruno Matias? He says the fight is going to go ahead regarding the adverse finding for Osterine. What is the current state of play with that fight?
Ongoing. We're waiting for the New York State Athletic Commission and the WBC to make their decision. Look, of course, there's a process that has to be followed, and that's the process that's being worked through now. As soon as we got news, everyone will know, I'm sure. We want to ensure that Dalton Smith's in a safe fight, and but no news just yet.
In terms of the Saudi business, there's an article came out regarding potential funds and resources maybe being scaled back. Tokyo Shaker's come out on the Ring magazine, social feeds, and saying that that's not the case, that's not the truth. But what do you know about that, their current state of play with their investment towards boxing?
They're hot to trot. They're going to keep pushing on. I've heard a lot of plans for next year, and as they've delivered over the last 2 years, they've got some huge nights lined up. It's exciting times for the sport, and His Excellency said it himself. There's no stopping. There's no stopping. The internet's a funny place, isn't it? Everyone says things, and then it's like people want to see the downfall of this thing that has been brilliant. If you would have said years ago, you're going to see all these fights over the next 2 years, everyone would be great. But for some reason, boxing fans find a reason to, moan. And that's it. We have to deal with that, is what it is. But yeah, there's some big plans to come, and I'm excited about what 2026 holds.
Very lastly, I believe when it was first announced of the DAZN deal that would be running up next year, what's the prospect of an extension, or maybe looking to discuss with other platforms with Matchroom Boxing and DAZN? What's the next move essentially?
We've got a great relationship with DAZN. We made a big move, with our business to go across to DAZN in 2021 from the UK. We'd obviously been there from 2018 because we believe in the vision. It's the global home of boxing. Look at the schedule they got coming up. Look at the nights they've delivered recently. We're fully committed to aligning an even longer term vision with them, and we're working through that now, and hopefully some news soon. But we're excited about what the future holds with them. They've done an amazing job over the last 6, 7, 8 years. And when you talk to them about their long-term appetite across not just boxing but as a business, we'd be mad to go anywhere else. So we're excited about what the future holds with them.
Very, very finally, it's just popped into my head. I believe that there's been a switch. I don't know if it's for horses, for courses, whatever the reason. You can tell me the nature of it. But I believe that you're now the lead promoter for the Night of the Samurai show, whereas previously you had Queensbury being the lead promoter for shows over in the Ring and Saudi areas. Is there a switch? Is there a reason for it? Is it just a case of one team for whatever show?
Yeah, look, we've been doing a lot of business, obviously, with Seller, delivering a number of their shows. Obviously, the UK, the recent Eubank Ben show, we delivered that. We were the lead promoter on that show. The US shows with whether it be Ring Magazine and Riyadh Season over the past couple of years, and we've got a great relationship with them and all of the Seller, Gia ring teams, and excited about the future with them. And we're delivering the December 27th fight. It's going to be a great night, huge card. So things are good.
Cheers, Frank. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.